So I'd like to bring the Open Space Parks and Recreation Commission meeting to order. 6:02. All right. Do we have anyone on Zoom? Not yet.
Looks like staff.
All right. Thank you for being there, staff. We appreciate you guys. All right. So our land acknowledgement. The land that Eureka rests on is known in the Wiyot language as Jurujiji. Past actions by local, state, and federal governments removed the Wiyot and other indigenous peoples from the land and threatened to destroy their cultural practices. The city of Eureka acknowledged the Wiyot community, their elders, both past and present, as well as future generations. This acknowledgement demonstrates the city's commitment to dismantle the ongoing legacies of settler colonialism. So a roll call?
Commissioner Mays,
Here.
Commissioner Malik,
Present.
Commissioner Parks,
Here.
Commissioner Brenner,
Here.
Commissioner Bareilles,
Here.
and Commissioner Houghton and Commissioner Sims are both out tonight.
So has everyone had a chance to look over the minutes? And can we have a approval of the minutes or a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
All right, the motion has been submitted and seconded. Are there any questions or corrections or comments for the minutes for September 26th? All right, moving right along then. Oh, a vote for the approval of the minutes and consent calendar.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. That was announced, the motion passes. So are there any commissioner reports? Man, I guess I have to do a better job of getting us out there doing something.
I'm not on the commission anymore, but I bumped into Scott Bauer, our 4th District City Council member, here a week or two ago, just about all the work that's being done at Cooper's Gulch, the redirecting of the water and the features they're putting in and all that, plus going up with the 14th Street. So it's very impressive. It looks great. And they're reopening it up and not renovating, fixing it, for lack of a technical term, on it. So it's really cool. So I look forward to finding out more about that as it gets completed.
Thanks for bringing that up. I think the project has had so many stages, and seeing it in action has been terrific. And we appreciate you continuing to have that interest for Cooper Gulch as well. Thank you.
We do plan on bringing back our project manager and for another update on that project too. That's very cool. Yeah.
So we can move on from the next one is public comment. We'd love to have more people. So if you're listening to this recording, we'd love to have you in person here, either in or on our Zoom, so that we can hear from you about our open spaces, parks, and recreation. But seeing no public comments, we can skip to our next line item, which is old business.
All right. Good evening, commissioners. Dayas, formerly 2030 Park, is moving along. We are at right about 50% done with construction. So we've finished some of the rough grading. We're doing fine grading. If you've been by there this week, the sports court is being installed. So it's a walled court that supports basketball, futsal, and hockey, roller hockey, and whatever other creative things people will come up with. But we're really excited to see some of the larger pieces coming in. Most of the sidewalks are poured. Stem walls and seat walls are coming in. Work on the ball field. And then the playground is coming over to the park next week. So like I mentioned before, we have it stored in storage facility in Samoa, and they will be starting to pick up all the pieces. It's quite a load of equipment. I think when it was delivered here from Wisconsin, came on 4 large trucks. So even the contractor was very surprised to see it, and then was like knocking on it, and he's like, "Oh, it's all metal," and I was like, We went all out on that piece, and so it will last for a long time. It's unique. It's nothing. It's all custom made. So it was all put together in the factory, and then disassembled and wrapped up and brought here. So we're excited to get to this part of it and seeing all the elements of the park coming together. Every week that we're out there, we have multiple meetings throughout the week on site with our project manager, Robin Prasker. And things are moving along. Of course, with projects, there's all kinds of hiccups and submittals to review and things like that. And so we're keeping up with all that. And we're going to have a completed park here in a couple months. So we're very excited. Ooh. We'll keep you updated. And maybe I can bring some photos into the next meeting. Any questions about Dayas or things going on? Anyone peeked over the fence? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. The metal structure you're talking about, is that the egret, or is that just?
So there's an egret play structure that it's mostly metal. There's some other composite walkways and things like that, but the slide flumes are metal. And in our climate and environment, it's okay to have the metal slides, whereas like maybe in hotter areas, metal slides can get burnt, but we don't reach those temperatures. And the longevity of it, it's when we designed it with our landscape designer and LSI, who is the manufacturer, it was quite fun. And then we were able to really customize things, and like, we don't like this part of it, we want this and that. And so we got several iterations of that before it was built. And it is the main piece. It will stand out. The egrets, I believe the height of the egret's head is about 20 feet. So, and it's raised up on a mound, and it's all mounded. All of the park is completely ADA compliant, and so all of the features and experiences that the kids and adults will have will be equal opportunities, and to have those same experiences there. So that was a lot of the careful planning of the project and those amenities. There's also a crab structure right next to it that's for the younger kids. There's playgrounds are set up in categories of 2 to 5 and 5 to 12 age ranges and what's appropriate. And then there's different specifications for those play areas and spacing and fall zones and things like that. And so a lot of considerations. But it's going to be spectacular. And there's other play amenities. There's spinners, there's parkour, there's sports court, like I mentioned. There is open space, which was important to us. And so, all that's the plantings and things like that will finalize everything. It's just going to be awesome. So, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Jim.
Yeah. We'll keep bringing the updates.
Yes, please. And invitations to the grand opening.
For
sure. One of the things we wanted to be there as a team. So our next line item then is new business. And there was a recommendation for us to cancel the November 28th meeting and the December 26th meeting for the holidays. So we need to make a decision here and have some discussion about our calendars. So we want to decide to have any special meetings, maybe on December 5th, I think one was
So
rescheduled.
we looked at the meeting calendar, and so the November 28th is on Thanksgiving Day, which will be problematic. And then the December 26th is day after Christmas, obviously.
Yeah,
and so we also look at the schedule of the calendar for this facility. And when that was one day that it was available was December 5th. We could have our normal meeting time. So I guess first we would want to decide to cancel those two dates. And you guys can vote on that. Someone can make a motion, and then we can do a separate motion to have a meeting on the 5th. We would still send out the agenda, confirm that we're going to have a quorum before we, show up in person.
So first things first, do we have a motion to cancel those 2 meetings?
You have to have public comment on anything you're voting on. So, even though there's no public here and there's no public on the Zoom call, you'll have to say it so that it's in the record.
All right, so public comment about our meeting schedule through the holidays.
No comment.
With hearing no comments, we'd like to maybe have a motion so we can discuss.
I move to cancel the November and December Open Spaces, Parks and Rec Commission meetings for 2024. Second. Somebody needs a second.
I'll second.
All right. So before we vote, are there any other discussions? Any discussions? All right. Well, I ask for a vote then.
Aye.
Aye. So the motion passes unanimously. And now we can discuss potentially having another date in December that we can meet.
I know that I'm not available on December 5th, and that's all right. That's all right if you get a quorum. The only concern I have is that this past month I did Zoom and attend the council hearing on the green space and gulches plan, and they said that would be coming our way, and I just want to make sure that if we don't have meetings, that we don't miss that opportunity to review that. Again, I could review it and get any comments or concerns to chair. I don't have to be here, but I just want to make sure we do get an opportunity.
Barbara, if something like that is going to be presented to you, they will make sure there is a special meeting called. So that, because if it's something that has to be passed by you before it goes to council, for example, they will make sure that a special meeting is called and attended in order for that to
Because
happen.
there was reference to this commission and the planning commission getting to look at that. So,
I'll make sure it's taken care of.
okay, that's my only concern. I do have to say I can't come on the 5th, but if you can get a quorum, that's fine. I'll review the materials and.
Thank you, Barbara.
And our next scheduled meeting would be on January 23rd. So.
Okay.
I'm out of town. I'm in San Antonio the 5th for a career technical education conference, so I can't make it either.
I also will be gone the 5th.
And I think
I
we're
make
at
a
the
motion
same-
we don't have a meeting on the 5th of December. If
Is
we have
there
to make a
another
negative
date
motion.
that would be permissible other than the 5th? Or
If you and I and Dennis and Max were able to attend, then we would have a quorum.
I also will be at the same
Oh,
meeting I
well,
believe you are.
there you
Is it
go.
the C? Oh, I'm going to San Jose. I thought you were a part of CEI, but yeah.
But like I said, if something comes up and they really need you guys to do something,
Okay.
they will make sure a special meeting happens that it has quorum so that it can proceed to the next commission or council. So you don't have to worry about that getting covered.
So there's 4 of us that cannot be there on the 5th. I'm glad I have that early.
Since nothing is scheduled, we don't need to make a motion. We just need to not do anything, correct?
Well, we're going to change the meeting date, so you guys do need to make a decision if that's going to be the case. And that makes it even more difficult without 2 of the people being here. We could.
I think
We
at
already
that point,
decided to
Lisa's probably
cancel.
going to have to send out
Scheduling
uh,
tool.
they usually do like a poll.
Yeah.
And they'll poll the days that you're that we have available for staff. And they'll poll you guys to see if they're available. That's
It's going to be staff and space, and then.
So there's very
all that, yeah.
few opportunities amongst the other commissions and council
Yeah.
for our time slots.
Jeff, it sounds like you need us in December because you think the gulches and canyons.
I have
whatever
no
is-
idea if it would be passed on to us by then.
Okay.
But I can get an update on that. But yeah, I believe we need to decide if we're going to have a December meeting now.
I'm still up to having a December meeting.
We could cancel it based on, let me see, I'm
They
getting
did
a
cancel
text.
it. They canceled
We
November
We did.
and
We did
December.
cancel it. We canceled the November and December meetings right now. We don't.
Right, but the December 5th.
That was just.
That's something we were discussing, but we can't.
Okay,
We
so
don't
just,
want to.
I just got a text that December 5th is the only day available.
Ah,
That
someone's
month.
listening in. Thank you, staff.
And so it would be moved to January.
12th, 19th, 26th, and it has to be on a Tuesday. I mean Thursday evening.
It doesn't have to be. We just have to get out notification to the public.
Yeah, other dates or times. I mean,
But
there's
Lisa is texting me that looking into the calendar that December 5th would be our time
There's
slot.
lots of other things to plan around, other meetings and staff being gone and things like that. So
Well, Lisa, thank you for looking extensively at your calendar. It sounds like we have to recommit to January 23rd then, and potentially if we could get on a Zoom. I mean, we were discussing potentially still hosting because there's Carol, Max, Dennis.
That wouldn't be quorum, though.
But do we have to have another in person, or can we do a Zoom for this one?
There has to be a special circumstance to have
Special.
someone join on Zoom. That's
Okay.
a voting.
So I would be willing to do a December 5th on Zoom if that special circumstance was needed based on
we still have
moving
to have
things
quorum
along.
in the building.
Okay.
In the building.
So we can't.
People can join by Zoom, but there has to be quorum in the building in order for those meetings to happen.
Right. Okay.
The way around that would be to have your actual home address on the agenda and invite members of the public into your home,
Yeah.
and then you would be considered
Okay.
in person.
Which we have done for another commission,
Once.
but it worked.
I will not be in my home, but I'm happy to do all those official things. If it moves something along, we need to move on.
Okay.
And what about you?
Yeah, I'm not sure that we
Could you
will
do a
have.
Zoom?
Yeah, if necessary, yeah.
And
Yeah.
we can both open our homes.
You,
to
I'll
the
open
public.
my hotel room in San Antonio. Yeah, they're
It's-
welcome to come in. I know.
There's you can do that, and you need to post. There's a lot of things that need to happen if we do that.
So I make a motion. We wait to hear from staff if there's a necessity for a December 5th meeting, and if so, act accordingly.
Okay. So I think that will work. Yeah. And then, like I said, we can always cancel it due to lack of quorum.
We're not going to cancel. We're going to wait to hear from you. I just motion that we wait to hear from you. Oh, we probably need more than that, though.
So let's say, for example, we find out we're getting the Greenway Gulches ordinance sent through us, and then we don't have a quorum. We can't do any action. It will hold up the process anyways.
All right, so I am happy to give my address and have those things to Lisa. I'll do that post the meeting so we can open up my home as a place for our public secondary to come outside of this wonderful space in-house. And so that way we can actually resume if needed.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
not-
wherever I'm at.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're at a
Have to,
hotel,
like, I'm at
The
Marriott,
hotel room.
whatever hotel in
Right.
room XXX.
I will do
and
that.
You have to post the
Post
agenda
the
on your
agenda on the
door.
wall.
And,
Okay.
yeah, it's a
let
whole
anyone
thing.
from the public into
I
your
will
hotel
do all
room.
the details.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
it's a
Needed.
thing. So
I'm willing to do that as well.
And
Okay.
I will be
If
in
necessary.
San Diego, so that will be hard for people, but we have the space here, so we want to make sure it's open. I'm happy to do that if it's going to keep us moving.
If needed.
Yeah, and then the other thing is, if we need to have an in-person quorum, so the reasoning behind your absence needs to be approved by, I believe, by Pam, our city clerk. Sorry. So
Okay.
I'm
So
not
follow
sure
up with
what
Pam.
how stringent those stipulations are. We don't have to make a decision right now. We just won't we won't vote on this, and then we can leave it up in the air and
Perfect.
get some more information, maybe check in with commissioners and see, and as well check in with our city clerk to make sure we're following procedure.
Okay. I withdraw my motion.
Okay.
And-
I mean, I think we would if there's other times or dates or even times that might be available, we could take those under consideration.
Yeah, and even in November, perhaps. I know we only have a couple of weeks in November before holidays, but maybe we could look at those dates as well.
Okay.
I'd be open to a November meeting if that
Week of the
helps.
28th.
That sounds good. Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you, Lisa. Thank you for listening in. Thank you for COE department and your suggestions. We appreciate the alternate options for us to get together during the holidays. My house will be available. Oh, my hotel room. Okay. It will be a party. All right. So if there's no other comments, then we can move on to our next agenda item. And that would be OSPR Commissioner Appreciation.
Yes. So we had 3 commissioners, and their term at the end of last year, in December, and our year got off to a start where we weren't able to meet quorums, and so things kind of just slid down the vine here, and we had 3 commissioners who are no longer with us, but served quite some time. I believe one of them served 35 years. So that was Mr. Bruce Russler. And then we also had Ms. Stephanie Lane and Amy Washburn. And all were very integral parts of our commission and of various interests and backgrounds, and brought a lot to our commission. And so we have always planned on appreciating them. And so we have ordered some plaques, and how we were going to do an appreciation in person here was going to depend on what we decided to do for this next upcoming meeting. So if we do find a date, we can do that, or we can do this at the January 23rd meeting. But we have really nice letters that we've written about them, and we would present to you in the packet, and then they'd also be getting a plaque that's a really cool wood designed engraved plaque, and then we'd bring them here to talk, and so for those of you who didn't get to meet them, they're wonderful people, and love them to come. So
Yeah, it was wonderful serving with them, and thank you for your team and Donna for moving that along, because I think it was something that we suggested as a commission during those times, and we want to do as well. So we're all aligned. I suggest we do it in January so that we can just focus on that date and then get them an invitation.
Definitely.
It's also National Mentoring Month, the beginning of a fresh season, right? So it's always a good time to acknowledge people and the power of relationship and what they do in our community.
So I just wanted to let you know we're working on that, and we will get them in here soon. So
All right.
all right.
So there's nothing to approve for that, but we're excited to hear about those reports and look forward to celebrating maybe at the January 23rd meeting. All right, our next agenda item are reports. So about the McKay Community Forest, and we have some bullet points. Carol, can you start us off?
Sure. First of all, for the advisory group, we will be finally having a meeting in November, and both Dennis and I will report on that in our January meeting. But because Dennis wasn't able to be here tonight, he did send us all an email about the recent work accomplishments in the McKay Community Forest, and I'd like to read that. They finished rocking the Lower Redwood Acres Loop Trail with the VTS Delta crew. They finished rocking the Upper Redwood Acres Loop Trail with the VTS Saturday Volunteer crew. They constructed a drain on the Upper Redwood Acres Loop Trail with the VTS Delta crew and the community school, high school students. They improved the drainage on the Perimeter Road/trail and the Bob Hill Gulch Road/trail in the Northridge area. They reconstructed the trail bench and improved drainage on the Bob Hill Gulch Trail leading to the North Ridge parking lot. And they removed invasive plants from the North Ridge parking lot vicinity with the community school, high school students. And I just took about a week or two ago, I took a walk on the Blackberry Trail at the North Ridge area, and it's very lovely. He did such a good job. So it's just a really great community resource, and it's exciting to see it move ahead. And that's it.
All right, thank you, Carol. So just a reminder to any of our community members and our team that they will be meeting again November 2nd. They meet at Redwood Fields at 9 a.m. in the morning, between 9 and 9:30. And so if you are out and you want to do some really good work and volunteer and get civically engaged, the McKay, we really recommend the McKay, working with the McKay Trail stewards. And not only do you get to work and just get the love of work, but you're also fed. So you get a nice lunch following everything up. And so it's a good time to get a good meal and be with good people. And I encourage us all to participate when we can.
Is that at Redwood Acres or where do we meet?
Redwood Fields. So there's a little box, a storage container to the right of the parking lot, and they all meet there. There's usually coffee and pastries. The start is early as 9 to 9:30, and then they go off to whichever part of the trail that they're going to be working on that week. So this is for all volunteers, all community members of many ages. So anyone can come and serve, and we encourage you to do so. All right. So if there are no other reports at this time, we can move on to upcoming volunteer opportunities. Robin, we'll miss you, but thank you so much, Jeff, for filling in for the report.
Of course. So last month, end of last month, we had our volunteer appreciation barbecue at Sequoia Park. Loved seeing everybody out there. We fed over 100 people, and thank you to Jim Thomas and all his staff that were out there and cooking for us, and had really nice music and just a nice afternoon, evening. So we really enjoyed that. We had quite a few more people than we did the previous year, where we had it at Hammond Park, where Jim made us tacos. So maybe we'll bring back the tacos next year, Jim. And then on November 2nd, we have an Old Town beautification program, and it's our monthly program. I know it's also the same time as the trail workout at the McKay track, but come on out between 9 and 10:30, Old Town, and we meet at the Visitor Center right there on F and First and next to the gazebo. And we do give you free Los Bagels. So thank you to Los Bagels for their delicious contribution. And it's always nice. And it's a nice way to get out for it's an hour and a half, and you feel accomplished. So appreciate everybody coming out. And that is what I have for volunteer programs.
Well, we know the Pack Out Green team is also doing some volunteering as well. And and there's a place on our website where you can find other volunteer opportunities throughout the community and throughout the city. So thank you, Jeff, for that. Are there any other comments or questions for Jeff on this report? All right, hearing none. And there's no public comments on this item, so we can move on to the next agenda item, which is 8.3 Parks Capital Project. Thank you, Jeff.
All right. So last meeting I mentioned we were getting a new roof on the municipal auditorium, and it's finished. So we're doing the final touches there, and it's so nice to have a roof that we had a nice little rain right after that, and we had no water dripping in. So that auditorium was built in the 1938, I believe, has hosted a lot of things. A lot of you have probably been to really good concerts and things like that there. A lot of history in the building. And so we're happy to help to preserve it and provide better and more opportunities for recreation and training. As I mentioned before, they're working on a professional training kitchen, where our kitchen used to be in there, so for our job skills classes through our CAPE programs. And so getting a lot of use, and but we're ready for some concerts and stuff like that too, some of the bigger hoopla. So we're excited to get that done. Highland Park, still waiting on our electricity connection there. It's typical waiting period with PG&E to get that reconnection. But our restroom facility is done. There's a sponsor for the Cook Shack, Valley Pacific, and Fuels, our local fuel conveyance, made a donation, and so each year for 6 years, they all have naming rights. They made a $10,000 donation each year for that. And so we're getting some signage put up there. I've got some other park signs that need to go up. We are getting usage out there. The playground is 90% done. It's playable right now. When we got a shipment of the swings, we were missing one of the swings. So we just got that in the mail yesterday morning. And so our contractors will be getting that up. People are playing pickleball. We're going to be having a pickleball tournament, a first responders pickleball tournament on November 2nd. So there'll be more information coming out about that. We're partners, but there'll be another group that we're meeting with them tomorrow on site to get some of those details figured out, barbecue and all that. And so we're just really excited to get more and more activity there. There's some fencing work that still needs to be done at the ball field, and then we'll work with our tenants, Redwood Empire Little League, to get that field prep going back again for spring, and so that the renovations will be complete there. And we just want to see lots more people out there doing the right thing and having a good time and enjoying themselves. So we're promoting that. And that's all I have for capital projects, since we already talked about DIAS, but I'm happy to answer questions.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Is my mic on?
Yeah.
When do you think Highland will be completely done? Just a wild guess.
Well, like I said, the playground stuff won't take very long to complete. The fencing, maybe a couple of weeks. Then the field prep stuff will take a while. We won't be tearing up the field in December and January when it's raining. And so more of a spring thing. The restroom connections is up to PG&E. So we're constantly and it's typical. So we're constantly poking them to see hey, when are we going to get this turned back on? And
So as soon as PG&E does its work, the bathrooms will open?
yeah,
Oh.
and they'll be open on a regular schedule, and
Okay.
as
good.
well as for rentals and things like that. So there'll be other opportunities to do rentals for parties or tournaments and things like that. So, and then we're looking at programming our parks too through our recreation department. And so that's another critical thing that we don't have enough of, is our actual programs at the parks, so that there's an established class there, or there's drop-in activities that's guided by us. And we can increase those participations. We can pick times and things like that. So we're looking forward to getting some more pickleball programming out there. Outdoors. We have indoor pickleball programs right now on Tuesdays and Thursdays at the Adorney.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, any other questions from commissioners about the Parks and report? No. All right. Seeing none. Thank you so much, Jeff, for the report, and to your staff for all that they do. If there's no public comments on this, we'll move over to our next agenda item, which is 8.4, the recreation revenue summary for September. My recommend we have to accept the revenue report. So I'm asking for a motion for that after everyone takes a look.
We do have to ask if there's public comment on this since there's something that's being voted on.
Any public comment on this from seeing none? Then
I would move to accept it and congratulate staff for being ahead of goal for this point in the fiscal year.
I'll second. I'll second that.
all right. So can we have a full vote? Aye.
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 All right. So the motion does pass. So is this the time that we ask questions about the revenue report?
Sure.
Okay. I'm grateful that Barbara already brought up that we're ahead of the percentage, and I know we've talked about this a little bit, that month to month things can get paid at different times, so it's hard to see this comparison. It doesn't always have all the details, but I did notice that there's a negative in the outside the box, so I wanted to just make some room for us to talk about the outside the box. It says staff anticipates the number of outside the box program attendees to level out or stabilize.
So as it's explained in there, we have some participants leave the program, and basically when school starts back up again, there's free programs that are offered out there, and so some parents are waiting to get accepted into that, and it's something that happens, and then the trends in payments and things like that and refunds, and so that's where we're showing a negative in this month, but we typically show increases in those. The outside the box is very popular. We have people on a wait list to get in there, so it's a matter of some administrative, moving them in there, getting the payments, how the payments are accepted into our recreation program, computer programs. It's called Perfect Mind, and so those will show up differently on here on this balance sheet here, and then there's trends with some of the other items too, like certain things are popular, skating and things, and then what are we able to offer? Is it staffing? Is it things like that? Is it a class got canceled for whatever reason? Things like that. So
All right. Well, thank you, Jeff. Any other questions about the revenue report? I do have one more, and that's regarding the zoo. Where will we see, now that the city is doing all the fundraising for this zoo, where will we see that revenue report? How will that be included?
So we've been working on partnering with Humboldt Area Foundation, and they're managing some accounts for us. We intend to have our zoo director come and do a report on that. We're really in the infancy stages of that, but funds have been transferred from other existing funds and things like that, and so there was a lot of just balancing the books and cleaning up at the end of our partnership with the previous foundation, and we're doing well. We're getting a lot of support. Our numbers at the zoo are really good over summer, and so that's not included in the recreation division report, but the zoo has its own budget and things that we can discuss too, and we definitely plan on having Jim come in. They've been extremely busy and dealing with some difficult things at the zoo lately.
Yeah.
So if you haven't heard about our
Our
loss
Noni.
of our bear, so it really affected our staff, and so we want to be very sensitive to them and their.
For our entire city, as we
Oh
mourn the
yeah,
loss of
but
Noni.
a lot of our zoo staff, they will go there on Thanksgiving to feed their favorite animals and things like that, or stay, if an animal's sick, they want to stay with them. And so that's the dedication that our staff has. And so when something does happen, it's extremely sad for them. So we want to make sure that we take care of everybody and get back on track in our mission for the zoo. So.
It's been, and we lost our panda too, Cindy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or which?
Yeah, that was a little more
Expected.
because
Yeah.
they had lived past their life expectancy. But yeah, it was a shock with our bear.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how integral the bears are in their exhibit, and what unique opportunities that people had to have a really neat experience with them was so.
Yeah, it definitely felt like they were our bears,
Yeah,
right? We had
they are.
learned about them before we even got them on the zoo, and all of the
And
all of
watching
the
them
behind the scenes.
be there. And
Yeah,
when they came, they were, whatever,
little
little
pups.
40-pound
Yeah,
cuties, and then they've quadrupled in size, and just the way they interacted with each other. So that was
Yeah.
special to watch.
it really is. It's a special memory that we get to hold, and we send our love to the both the staff and also to everyone involved in the situation, as they got the help that they needed, and it happened so quickly. So thank you for keeping us abreast of that, and also any updates with the zoo and how we can include that in moving forward.
Definitely.
All right, if there's no other questions, we can move on to our next agenda item, and that's our staff reports.
All right, I've been talking a lot tonight, but
We appreciate you.
yeah, no. So I just wanted to cap a few things that are going on. Our obviously Halloween events coming up on Saturday, the 26th. It's at Sequoia Park. Unless we get rain, we may move it indoors, but we're looking like it's going to be okay right now. Later that evening, we have rain. Scavenger hunt, other entertainment and games and contests for kids and adults. It's all free. So come on out. It's between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. on Saturday. So right after you go volunteer, you can come right over to our event and get some candy and get re-energized. Also on Sunday, the 27th, from 11 to 3 is Boo at the Zoo. And you do need to have an admission to get in, or a membership, but all of the amenities that we were providing in there for the Halloween event are included in that. So there'll be actually a really cool pumpkin carving demonstration by our famous local pumpkin carver, Mike Craighead, and so that'll be cool to see. Party in Pink Zumba on Saturday the 26th at 2 p.m. at the Adorney Center. So we've really got your Saturday packed for you. So we expect to see you at all of those. For upcoming November break, we have had some really good camps set up over the last couple of years. We have a drop-in basketball clinic with Damon Edwards, sorry. And he's a former Globetrotter, and it's really high energy, fun skills and some fundamental stuff, but a lot of fun. And the kids really enjoyed it. Really upbeat. And so that will be happening during the break, those first 3 days of break. We're also running a day camp at Cooper Gulch. It's our Cooks That Care program. And so that's November 25th through the 27th. And they last year did a lot of cool cooking activities, and then they made blankets for the pets at the shelter. And the kids weren't able to go to the shelter, but we sent our staff there and a cameraman who live streamed it back to the kids in the camp, and to see all their little faces when the dog got their blanket and things like that. So super cute. So that's going to be another fun one. And then our Hoopsters program, in November, we'll start registration for that. And that's a very popular program. And we're looking to build the numbers back up and get a lot more participation in that. And then it actually starts in January. So that is all I've got. And unless you guys have any questions or...
I know a really popular one is the skating one. It seems like it's been at 80% capacity, and you guys have some special skating activities happening too Friday, right?
At the skate park, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. We have skating and we have a spooky skating on this Friday. Our skating has gotten a lot more popular, and so again, that's a really nice reason to have our new roof at the Muni. They're also doing some concrete work out front for the access areas, but we're still able to use the building, and so yeah. And then we do occasionally have skateboard, and that's what I was referencing, skateboarding camps, but that was usually in springtime. But so, yeah.
Jeff, there was something maybe 2 weekends ago at Cooper's Gulch at the skate park. I happened to be walking by, and there was a event there. There were pop-up tents. People were selling stuff, and all kinds of people skating and skateboarding and stuff. It looked great.
So
I don't know what it was.
That was a rental from the Skate Collective, and we work a lot with the Skate Collective. I've talked about our RC car group, and then the mountain biking groups who are kind of their fundraising and doing events to get like a track, and so the RC car folks and the Skate Collective and everybody, they're all kind of combined under an umbrella. So we get to meet with them a lot, and then see where we can do events and partner with them, and so yeah, and get more diverse things going on out there for options for people.
Well, thank you so much for all that you and the team are doing and your staff. And we ask that everyone be careful and safe for the holidays, and and get out and do something fun in our parks. And these free activities that you offer are so beneficial for our community. It's a great place for us to get together and enjoy and watch our kids and be connected as a community.
Mm-hmm.
If there are no other questions or for Jeff or any comments from the commission, all right, well then I move to adjourn the meeting at 6:49. Thank you.